Hello, YouTubers. Today we're going to demo Skyrim. All right, so first things first, of course, as always, we are going to look at our video settings. So here we are, and the way you get to the video settings isn't like the normal in-game. Actually, you start Steam and you press play, and then it'll open up this launcher. Then you can press options. On your first playthrough, actually, Skyrim will detect your settings and give you exactly what they think is the best setting possible. So it detected that it had this graphics processor and this monitor and everything, and now it gives us the settings. So by default, Skyrim actually gave my video card the permission, I suppose, to use the Ultra setting. All right, so it set everything automatically to Ultra, anti-aliasing is as high as possible, 8 samples, and anisotropic filtering is also at 16 samples, the highest for textures. Okay, and then now you can go, so that's the Ultra. And then after that, you can go into Advanced and click on this, and then Skyrim options will open this new window here. And you can change a few other things to personalize it just a little bit. So between texture quality, radial blur quality, shadow detail, decal quantity, FXAA was left off. I basically just used the settings that Skyrim gave me. All right, so everything is as high as possible, and then water on the bottom, you can see that's pretty detailed to be able to do all these things for the water, to reflect land, trees, and all these other things. Now, view distance, these are all stock, default rather, and they're all on the highest possible, as far as possible, and it's on Ultra, as you can see here. Okay. So after you click OK and set up all your graphics in whatever settings, we can go in and go play. So here we are in game, and I'm going to show you guys a couple different character profiles that I had. Well, actually, it's the same profile, but at different stages during the campaign, and that's why the character will change just a little bit. So this is basically in the very beginning of the game after you complete a couple small missions or whatever, and the purpose of this is basically to show you guys how well this game can run, just as I always do, on this computer, on the MSI GS60. Now, I'm not really going to do too much talking about it. I mean, the game, as you guys already know, looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. There are other mods that you can get for it. I'm not going to get into that. I will in a little bit. So here, you'll see that, you know, everything looks like it's running really smoothly, but for some reason, the frames per second on the top left is a lot lower than what I'm normally used to playing with. I think that is because I'm recording, and that's because Skyrim uses the multi-core threading and all that stuff to make it more efficient when it's processing. And the video program also does that as well. So, right now it's at about low 40s, and usually I'm running in this scene probably between 55 to 60. So I'm sorry that doesn't really represent it very clearly, but I usually run at around a pretty solid 60, especially during the indoor scenes, and I will show you guys that in a little bit. So the textures look incredible. Sometimes the textures in the background pop in and out, like the skyline, the trees, and the clouds and things like that. But overall, textures look really, really great. The character model looks awesome. And a lot of the stone features, not necessarily the ground tile stones or whatever, but a lot of the other rock structures and features look really good. In my opinion, the wood could look a little better, but I mean, there's not much you can do about it without modding. But otherwise, looks pretty solid for, you know, so as you can see, the leaves and the rocks and all the shadow and shading between the rocks look really, really good. The straw on the houses also looks fantastic. Now, some parts of the wood do look really good, and then other parts, not so much. I'm not really sure why, but some of the wood planks look really awesome, and then other times it looks okay. All right, here we are in another part of the map, and we're just gonna look around here. This is a more open space as opposed to the confined village space, and you can see there's a lot of foliage and textures and details all around. And again, this part usually runs between 55 to 60. I mean, the entire game, especially indoors, runs at 60. Outdoors and really intense scenes, maybe 50 lowest, but usually it doesn't dip too much. I think it's because I'm recording that it dropped probably 10 frames per second. This game really has a lot of other things going on in the background, such as things flying around and wind, cloud, smoke, water effects, all sorts of things going on. And this computer handles it beautifully. It's really, really good with this game. I was really surprised because I turned on the game and everything was running pretty smoothly at 60 frames per second, and I was really blown away.
Need a ride?
Also, just to let you guys know, this costume is actually a mod from the Steam Workshop, and I just downloaded that for free and built it with iron armor, I do believe. So this is not in-game. I just decided to have a little fun, and everything, including the armor here, looks really good. Okay, just showing you some more of that lighting and the rock and the water textures here.
Come to chat.
And then here we're going to go into Whiterun. I'm just showing you guys really quickly the load screen. And this is actually loaded onto the 7200 RPM hard drive. It's not on the solid state right now in this video. I actually moved it over to the solid state and after this video, and it actually loads everything pretty much exactly the same speed. So I just decided to move it over to the SSD because I thought it would load faster. But as you can see, the load times for moving in between the map already really awesome. So you could definitely load this 8 gig with the DLC, 8 to 9 gig file onto your hard disk drive, your 7200 RPM drive, and it'll work fine. You don't have to worry about it if you're running out of room on your SSD. So as you can see, the interior textures and the fire and the smoke, everything looks really good. The shadows in here.
You want a drink? Now please, no more questions.
What bothers me a little bit is the hair detail in this game. It's not the best. I mean, obviously it's not Tomb Raider with the, you know, the extra graphics boost or whatever, but you know, it still looks good. It's just the hair, I think, is the least detailed part of this game. Here's some more detail. You can see there's a lot of shadowing going on here, a lot of light refraction.
I'm not afraid of you, no, even if you are my elder.
The game looks fantastic, and especially in sunny scenes like this. Although the shadows here, and anytime actually, the shadows look a little choppy sometimes when it's reflecting off of you or off of some objects. Usually they're pretty good, and they're not jagged or anything, but sometimes the shadows do look a little off. I don't think that's the computer's fault. I think that's just Skyrim. So yeah, I've been playing this game for probably roughly 8 hours now at this point, and I gotta say, the game looks incredible. It looks awesome, and as you can see here in this scene, there's a lot of snow and a lot of particles happening here, and right now, it's on 42, right? 40 something. Usually this part, you could probably play on... I was playing on between 55 to 60. I keep saying that, and I wish I could show you guys, but actually, it is true, and I'm not lying to you guys. It does look really awesome. Just for some reason, while I'm recording, it took off, you know, 10, 15, 20 FPS. And all the fight scenes and everything with the explosions, the frame rates stay pretty steady. And I think if there was no vertical sync or whatever option that is turned on, basically through the Skyrim tool manager or whatever, if that wasn't turned on, if there wasn't any vertical sync, then you wouldn't have that. You would have even higher FPS. Alright, anyways guys, this is the end, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Bing Box. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.